There's so many women that have gone before me and have taken to the sky.
Do you think there is a need for women in space?
Well, is there a need for men in space?
All these women have been my role models and my inspiration, and I couldn't be here today without them.
Islam Turisi is the woman behind a leading COVID-19 vaccine.
Women bring an energy to rap that did not exist before. And the Grammy goes to Cardi B!
Who knows how many others could have been the first if they'd had the chance to try.
Pattern Beauty is launching.
I'm the first person in my family to start a business.
Let's talk about some glass ceilings being shattered.
Jugo Dubai summited heights no woman before her had reached.
We can show girls that anything is possible. It doesn't matter what they look like or where they come from. They can change the world.
No, it's
not.
Sorry, y'all. It's not all that. It's live at 5.
It's live at 5.
That's right. We here, y'all. We back again. Another Saturday. The devil tried to stop us last week. He tried to take the victory, but he can't have it.
Nope.
He even tried to do it again today.
Right.
But you know what? He can't have it, Jazz.
He cannot.
He's under our feet, y'all. We're determined to give you guys a quality live FI show. Because you know why? Y'all deserve it. You're the people. So we're here again. I am your favorite cameraman, Andre.
I'm Jasmine.
Yes. And we are going to be your host today for Live at 5. But before we get into the show, that video
was dope. I was thinking, like, man, what am I the first of? And so in my family, I am the first woman to own a business.
Wow, really?
Yes.
That's
that video was everything to me because I'm all about the woman and empowerment. That video was very empowering.
Okay, come on, queens. Look, y'all know about this woman right here. She's doing great things. If you need your graphics done, flyers, t-shirts, she's doing it all. Look, I'm trying to tell you, she's probably gonna do decals for cars soon. I don't know, but look, check out Breezy Creations.
Yeah. Sister
Jasmine, she's doing her thing, y'all.
So, if you did not know, this is International Women's Month. Mm-hmm. So that's a big deal because Women's Week is coming, and we're so excited. Right. So this theme for this year for women is the vigilant woman of the vote. So that means we refuse to be silent.
Come on.
And it's putting a big focus on political and leadership.
Wow.
So this is a huge thing.
Okay. crisis. I feel like that really is huge because you're seeing women break so many barriers. Especially in politics. With us seeing Kamala Harris being the first African American vice president.
Yes.
And then, so many more things happen. Shouts out to the women, y'all. The queens are doing it. I gotta give y'all credit. But Jazz, I bet you did not know that Women's Empowerment Month actually started as a day in February 28th of 1909.
I did not know that.
Yeah. It was actually just Women's Day. It was actually created to commemorate the 1-year anniversary of the garment workers strike that usually had about 15,000 women marching through the lower Manhattan area of New York in the garment factories and held a strike. And they did this strike to protest their working conditions. So, ever since then, most of them, were teen girls working 12-hour shifts, only get paid $15 a week.
That's
$15 a week, not 15 per hour.
Yeah, that's
a
nothing.
Week.
That is nothing.
That's only like in our time, it was like 3 cookout trays.
Okay, Dre.
I'm just saying, but I'm glad.
With that fact, the day was expanded to a week on March 8th, 1978. And then finally being a whole month in 1987, thanks to the protests and the rally efforts of the organizations like the National Women's History Alliance.
That's dope. That's really dope. Women are doing some amazing things in this country, and they're still doing things today. In fact, I know the big topic going on right now is COVID and with the vaccine that we have now.
Yes.
Why you say it like that?
It's a big deal right now.
Okay. We're going to talk more about that later. Okay. But I bet you didn't know that a woman was actually part of finding out that cure and creating it. Not just any woman, but African-American woman named Kismika, what is her last? Corbett. Kismika Corbett. Yes. She is actually from Orange County, right here in North Carolina.
Yes, North Carolina.
I know. Can you believe that?
Yes, North Carolina.
Stand up. Come on, Queens. We're out here. Yes, man. And she is just doing some amazing things. And what about this COVID vaccine is hitting you, Jazz?
I think what's hitting me is, man, life had to really shut down. So actually, we are about to come up on our 1 year before COVID just shut the whole society down.
Wow.
So next week will be 1 year. The last service we had was Women's Day. That was the last service we had. It was on fire. We actually didn't even know we were going to make it to the end of that week.
Really?
Yes, because let's see, when we came back from prayer retreat, that's when we heard about the virus hitting Seattle. And then it just spread real quick.
Yeah.
So then when Women's Week was coming up, stuff started just shutting down, or there was a lot of commotion going on in the beginning of that week.
I remember that.
So by the time we got to, I think, Saturday of celebrating Women's Week, it was just getting more and more news about people are shutting down. They didn't know anymore. I know I had to take a test that Saturday.
Really?
The Saturday before that Sunday.
Wow.
And they canceled my test because they didn't know about the COVID. So they was like, we're rescheduling it. We'll let you know at a later date when you can come back and take the test. So we have really survived a whole year dealing with COVID. It shut down the schools, kindergartners that come to school, and some are scared or some are excited. They had to be on their iPads, on their computers. So it was different. So different. Yep. And when they came back, they are they don't know what to do because they've been on the computer for about almost 6 months, 7 months. So COVID really shut some things down.
It did. COVID has really shaken up the nation. And so, I believe that it's good that we have a vaccine now. As a matter of fact, Jazz, didn't you go get the vaccine this week?
Yeah. So before I speak on that, we are going to go to a video.
Oh, okay.
Check this out.
Check it out.
Black woman from Orange County will go down in history for leading the effort to solve this global pandemic. Dr. Kesmikia Corbett with the National Institute of Health is on the front lines of working with a team of scientists studying Moderna's vaccine, one of the 2 COVID-19 vaccines shown to be effective by more than 90%. The drug expected to receive emergency use authorization by the FDA later this week.
I wanted to make it clear that the work that we've been doing for so long, I stand by it with essentially all of my being.
But Pew Research shows only 42% of Blacks are likely to get vaccinated compared to 63% of Latinos and 61% of whites. One of the reasons, decades of abusive medical tactics on Blacks dating back to the Tuskegee syphilis experiment of 600 Black men.
I also understand that there are issues of lack of trustworthiness. And I say it in that way because understanding that the onus of gaining the public's trust lies in the hands of people like me.
That belief of gaining trust and bridging a path has always been with her since her days as a PhD student at UNC, according to Dr. Aravinda De Silva, Corbett's mentor and professor.
Even as a graduate student, she was very involved in promoting science, going to schools, speaking to groups that typically would not consider careers in science.
He says between 2009 and 2014, she studied the human antibody response to viruses, specifically dengue virus. Corbett even traveling to Asia for several months to study that virus. Now she and her team making history at the forefront of the novel coronavirus.
Well, I'm very proud, but I also knew that Kizzy would go on to do great things. She's very level-headed and can handle pressure well.
Dr. De Silva expects Corbett will continue her research with COVID-19 and find ways to get people of color interested in science. Right now, her industry is nearly 70% white, according to the National Science Foundation.
Wow. You know, with over 116 million cases of COVID worldwide, with over 65 million people who have recovered from these cases, and sadly 2.58 probably million people have died from it. You know, I believe that we can give God praise that there have been those that recovered. And I think with this vaccine, you know, it's really going to help shift the tide as well. And, you know, with Dr. Kesmikia, you know, Corbett, you know, I believe with her being one of the crucial people who has helped to create this vaccine, it really speaks to that narrative, you know, of fear that we have people of color have when it comes to getting vaccines, you know, where things have happened just throughout history that we've experienced. I believe that her being able to create this virus kind of can bridge that gap. And so we can come out of that fear or, you know, just that worry and anxiety of it. Yeah.
So yes, like you mentioned, I did get the vaccine.
Okay.
And so, like you said, there was a fear there. But I really just had to think on it. Honestly, like I had to like shut everybody else out in their opinion about getting the vaccine and just understanding like, okay, we don't know when this will end.
Yeah.
You know, and we don't know what the world is going to do as far as like make us get these vaccines. So, you know, I was just thinking about, okay, well, let me just secure myself out of anything, like securing myself. And, you know, I want to be around my family. So that was kind of the reason why I decided I'm just going to get it. You know, if I trusted God this far, I trust God through this experience as well.
That's
so that was my reason on getting the vaccine. Are you going to decide to do it or...
Oh man, you know, I've been thinking about it, Jazz, and look, I know you all watching at home, y'all probably like, I don't know, maybe yes or no. So as we share our experiences, guys, we're not swaying you or any way, shape, or form. For me, I'm kind of on the fence, you know. Part of me realizes why we need it, you know what I'm saying? But there's still that fear there, like you talked about, you know, and just having friends close to me who have had COVID and hearing about their experiences, and even some who've gotten the vaccine. I mean, I had a friend who had COVID and got the vaccine, and she said that she had some of the same symptoms come back. And so, you know, I can imagine how that may have put some fear in her, you know. But then, like you said, I can also see the benefits of someone who wants to be back with their family. You know, we know that the world wants to reopen back up. You know, just this week, we've already heard of states that are dropping, you know, the mask mandate.
Yeah.
So, hey, society's going to open back up whether we like it or not. I just pray that it opens up much safer, much cleaner, much healthier, and COVID free.
Yes.
Yeah.
So let's see what social media has to say about this vaccine.
Got my COVID vaccine. I'm feeling great. What the heck? What the heck? What the heck was that? What? Hello? Am I tripping? What the? Got my COVID vaccine. I'm feeling great. What the heck? What the heck? What the heck was that? What? Hello? Am I tripping? Got my COVID vaccine. I'm feeling great. What the? What the heck? What the heck was that? What? Hello? Am I tripping? What?
And that right there, you see that video? That's why I'm worried. I don't want to do it.
Oh, I'm sorry.
The blood? Back up. The blood of Jesus.
Okay,
you sure?
Yes,
Some side effects, y'all. Child.
Anyway, we just want to continue to honor Dr. Corbett as she has helped us get this vaccine. So we want to shout out to her.
Shouts out to you. Thank you for all your hard work. All your hard work. Well, you know, Jazz, as we're transitioning from COVID, you know, as we were celebrating Black History Month last week, you know, we really wanted to bring you guys a great celebration, but there was some information that we just couldn't let you all as a people go without knowing. So as we're celebrating Black History, we have to talk about some new information that has come to the surface about a major event that happened in Black history back in the 60s. We're talking about the assassination of Malcolm X. Yeah, it's heavy, y'all. It's very, very heavy. Yeah. So check this out. For over the past 56 years, the government has been pinning the assassination of Malcolm X on the Nation of Islam since he disobeyed the Honorable Elijah Muhammad's wishes. However, the recent death of a retired NYPD officer named Raymond A. Ward has caused the truth to come to light. In his confession, he actually has wrote a letter that was given to his cousin, Reggie Ward. And with that letter, he goes in detail to letting us know about how he was involved in a plan to help with that assassination.
So I'm only going to read a little bit of the letter. We understand that he is a police officer that was undercover. So it says, my job was to affiliate civil rights organizations through New York City to find evidence of criminal activity so the FBI could discredit and arrest its leaders. After witnessing repeated brutality at the hands of my coworkers, the police, I tried to resign. Instead, I was threatened with my arrest by pinning marijuana and alcohol trafficking charges on me if I did not follow through with the assignments. Under the directions of my handlers, I was told and encouraged leaders and members of civil rights groups to commit felonious acts.
Wow.
That is crazy.
That's ridiculous. But you know, Jazz,
that's crazy.
It doesn't surprise me. It doesn't surprise me. We've seen throughout history, how the FBI and the powers that be, anytime you're seeing unification or a powerful leader in the community, some way, shape, or form, someone behind the scenes is always looking to tear him down.
I think what's interesting to me is that he held this for over 50 years.
Yeah.
And so I'm just thinking like it had to be weighing him down. Like the whole something like this, that means you watch people go to jail.
Yep.
And they just sat there and they were innocent. And you got to roam around free. Like I don't even know how he was able to function through life, because I can't even hold, like if I feel some type of way towards somebody for a couple of days, like I'm like, I want to take care of this right now. Period. So for him to be able to just to hold that for that long,
that's a burden.
Yeah,
that's a burden. And they said he took it to his deathbed, and his cousin had to hold a letter, and that's when it was actually released. And with this letter, what it really actually does is it actually helps us to debunk that narrative that's been out there for all these years that the Nation of Islam has something to do majorly with Malcolm X's death.
Right.
As a matter of fact, Louis Farrakhan, who was one of Malcolm X's best friends, has some he actually recounts his last days in one of his preaching engagements back in 2012.
Right.
Check out this video.
I am hated like Jesus without a cause. Well, why am I hated? Because I speak truth to power and do not fear consequences. Take a look at your brother. My brow is not furrowed.
Brother Malcolm's first car was a Chevy. And he drove that thing into the ground, setting up mosques or temples, as they were called in that time. Then Malcolm grew up a little more and got an Oldsmobile. And the last car that he had before he was assassinated was a 1963 Oldsmobile. And I sat in that car with my brother, and we talked about my future and his. Yeah. Malcolm died that I might live. Now, I want to tell you something about life. See, every life is valuable, if only to instruct other lives. See, Brother Malcolm was a very great teacher, very great example, but he fell out with his teacher. Yes, sir. He misunderstood how the teacher was trying him. Listen to me. The newspapers, you know how we write. We always look for somebody that will be after the one that you can't buy. I'm going to say that again. See, they couldn't buy Elijah. He's too committed. They couldn't buy Mao Zedong. Too committed. They couldn't buy Gaddafi. They couldn't buy Castro. They couldn't buy those whose hearts are stayed on the masses of the people. But they always look for those under that they might be able to corrupt and turn.
Again, family, those were words from Minister Louis Farrakhan, who was actually one of the best friends of Malcolm X. And, he hasn't really released any statements just yet regarding this letter, but I definitely believe that he wants to see justice for his best friend, who still to this day has gotten justice for his case.
Yeah. So speaking of justice, our friend George Floyd. We almost coming up on a year of when everything happened with George Floyd.
Wow.
So it's heating up in Minneapolis. Sources show that businesses and governments buildings have been boarded up since the last month for protection after the violent protests of George Floyd in summer 2020. So now when on Monday, March 8th is when the jury is going to be selected. And then opening statements from the prosecutions and the defendants will begin on March 29th.
Wow. You know, Jazzy, you just really just made us think back into how it's almost been a year. I was thinking about all the work we did over the summer for, Justice for the Next Generation, geared up from Von Arbery to George Floyd, like
Breonna Taylor,
Breonna Taylor.
all the it's crazy. It's going back to back to back, like a year for all of them.
Yeah.
So I can understand it's about to be lit somewhere.
I'm telling you, man. I don't know how I would feel being in Minneapolis right now. Just I can already understand how the tension could be up there. I mean, if you all have not been staying abreast to this, like back in May, an officer, Derek Chauvin, killed George Floyd, put his knee on his neck for 8 minutes and I believe it was 45 seconds.
Yeah.
46. Thank you. 46 seconds. And so he was, him and three other officers, were brought up on charges. But Derek Chauvin, one who had his knee on George Floyd's neck, has been charged with second-degree murder and manslaughter as well. So, when Minnesota, the appeals court ruled Friday and third-degree murder charges should be reinstated against Chauvin and added this to the trial. So, there's so much going on developing about this. This is truly a high-profile case. So, as we get more updates, family, we're going to update you all. We're going to stay abreast to it.
So, Attorney Ben Crump has been all over this.
Awesome.
He has really been fighting for this family. And he stated, the jury must be given every means and opportunity necessary to hold this former officer accountable to the fullest extent of the law. He also said too often the justice system fails to hold officers accountable for the unlawful killing of Black men. That's just like Daniel Prue. Like, we've been waiting for people to get justice. Like when Breonna Taylor's, when they decided that they weren't going to charge these officers, that crushed a lot of us because she did nothing. The story is always she was in her apartment sleeping. So how come these officers are not being accountable? No matter what they assumed, who was going into that household, they still have to be held up accountable because an innocent life was taken. Like, how you gonna investigate the apartment that was behind hers and nobody got hurt over there, but she lost her life?
Right.
So we really want to see justice being served for everybody.
Yes, definitely. And what's also so sad when you see these cases like, Breonna Taylor, George Floyd, Ahmaud Arbery, every time that, these victims are mentioned, there's always a counter narrative about what they did in their past.
Right.
Oh, he could have did this here. He could have had some petty robbery there. He could have been brought up on speeding tickets back in the day. And they always tried to use that as a way to justify why this victim is a bad person.
Right.
Like their life didn't matter.
Yeah.
It still didn't have to happen like that, so.
Well, as you all try to stay updated with the news, we're going to stay updated too so that we can share it with you all. So we're going to share some announcements before we end tonight's show.
Yes.
So our first announcement is on Mondays. We have our women's and men's empowerment meetings. If you have not been, please check it out. Go on. You can go on to our citadelpraise.com and you can find out the Zoom link and the time. Well, the time is 7:30, but you can find that Zoom link on our website.
Yes. Also, Women's Week is at the end of the month, as you already mentioned.
Yes. Women's Week. We take over the whole week. I wish we could have it in person because it'd be so exciting. Yes, because we got from Monday, we're going to have Manna with Mama. Then on Wednesday, don't worry about that. So we're just excited to have a lot of things that's going on.
Well, don't spill the beans just yet. The queens gotta be ready. Look, queens, get your pinkies up. Make sure you got your crowns ready, because as she said, it's gonna be lit. And of course, tomorrow we can't forget about some major things happening. So Mama Bell on the West Side. Shout out to Mama Bell over on the West Coast. She has been helping to organize not just a prayer in California. This is a mega prayer. So this is everybody. You can pray from wherever you are, family, your home, your car, your bathroom, whatever. Just lift up prayer. We're starting tomorrow at 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, 7 a.m. Pacific Time. Look, stop what you're doing and lift up prayer. We all need it. I know I need some prayer.
We do. And we will not forget, our most exciting day is our worship on Sunday at 3 p.m. Please join us as we worship, and we're about to crack open this new series, Maturity. Man. Oh, we about to set on fire.
Jazz, I'm not ready. I mean, I know I work the camera, but I might need to sit down too. Look, because this about to... Pastor, I already know you got something for us.
Wish I had a lighter. I'm trying to light
something. Get the fire.
He's about to light us up. He is about to light us up.
Oh, man. But yes, we're excited, and we hope you all are too. So that wraps it for our show today, family. Look, we're so glad you all continue to stay rocking with us each and every Saturday. Thank you for the faithful viewers. We love you all. We do it for you all. Each and every week, we're going to continue to keep bringing y'all hot content, stuff fresh right off the press that you ain't know about. We almost didn't know about sometimes either. But we're learning together. Amen. All right, y'all. Well, we're out of here. Till next time.